What's going on, guys? It's the Canadian Landscaper coming at you. I haven't put it on YouTube yet, but I'm going to tonight here. I did a video today showing you my enclosed trailer so far. Um, I'm just in the process of painting it, and I got to order some trimmer racks before it's completed and ready to go for the summertime. But I want to talk to you a little bit about when you see the video, you're going to see that it's an 18-foot trailer plus the Vino, so I guess you could almost call it just shy of like 22 feet or so. Um, and it's 8.5 feet wide, and it's 7 foot tall on the inside. You'll also see that it had windows on the man door and in the far back corner, and two vents and no roof vents. um, so basically, the process for me getting an enclosed trailer is it's quite simple. We don't bag a lot of grass. Um, in the spring and in the fall, we do. We'll bag maybe the first 2 weeks, give or take. Sometimes, depending on the year, we don't even do that. And then in the fall, we bag all the leaves. This year we didn't get to them because we got rain and snow, so it just didn't work out the way we wanted. But anyways, in for those times, I still have a 14-foot open trailer, and I've got my dump truck. So I actually got a ramp made that goes into the back of the dump truck, so we can just dump the walker of all its clippings. We take it out to a farm now for all our clippings. We're fortunate that way, and that's how that's handled. But basically, other than I got paint on me from that trailer. Other than that, the reason I wanted to go enclosed was I have a storage problem. The shop that I have crosses as a few things. It crosses as my dad's auto repair shop, crosses as my repair shop. I rent a yard, and so keeping the mowers in my repair shop was starting to get inconvenient for many reasons. And I thought it'd be nice to have more tools on hand, have a nice trailer enclosed, sort of, at the end of the day, I can just throw some padlocks on it, throw it against the fence, and walk away. And that's what I did. So for me, getting an enclosed trailer makes sense. We don't bag much grass. I figure, for the little bit we do, I can just throw a couple of garbage pails in the back of the truck for the odd little residential that we might push mow and bag. It's not a big deal. So that being said, the previous trailer that I used beforehand for like every day was a 16-foot trailer, and I could keep my Ferris Pro Cut on there, my B23 walker, and either my new Ferris 32-inch or my old Toro 30-inch. It worked out pretty good. So, I could keep all of that on there. Nah, it was a bit tight. Now, keeping in mind on an open trailer, you've got the fenders on the outsides. So, the walls are in now. On this one, it's 8.5 on the inside. Plus, you got the wheel wells in there. So, you're going to have a bit more freedom of space, minus what you hang on the walls. But I didn't want to go that full 8.5. I thought it was necessary to get that. And I did decide to go basically another 2 feet longer to give a little bit more space. Plus the Vinos, I thought it would accommodate what I had going on quite well. And I didn't want to get too big because you still got to maneuver this around town. So, as the video shows for that, is that it's an aluminum trailer. I was able to purchase that aluminum trailer for actually about $500 less than I could a steel one that had to be brought through the States. And it's nothing against that, but there's tariffs and there's the trucking and so on and so forth. And anyways, so the extra couple of grand that it would have cost to get an aluminum one out of the States, I can now have right here built in my own backyard, just an hour up the road. So I thought that was nice. There's no roof vent. The company I bought this from, they don't like roof vents. They pride themselves in a one-piece aluminum roof from one end to the other. And they don't like roof vents because they claim they've had problems never being able to get them to seal up right. I mean, you could argue that fact that RVs have had roof vents and many other enclosed trailers have roof vents. I decided to counter that. It does have 2 factory vents. But after watching some of Johnny Moe's videos, he was always complaining, or still does a bit, that his machines will vapor lock. So what I did is I put a window in the man door, which is on the passenger side, and I put a window on the driver's side at the far back. Plus, there's 2 vents, high and low, that come factory. So I'm hoping that if I leave those windows open, it is going to get enough breeze going through there, going down the road, that it is going to keep the inside of that trailer cool. The reason I went 7 foot tall on the inside was because you are going to have to get on and off the lawnmowers. So I thought it'd be nice if, I didn't test it. I never measured myself on top of a lawnmower in that, but they come standard at 6 feet, which the average person is standing at 5'10". So you got 2 inches. So I thought another foot in there, it's really going to give you a lot of grace room for not bumping your head. And some people might say, well, you get used to it and this and that, but there's going to be times where you'd bump your head on a 6 foot ceiling roof, and it wasn't a lot extra to go that route, so I did it. It does make it a tall trailer, especially because I spec'd it with 5,200 pound torsion axles. For those of you that don't know, this is another thing too. I find, and I don't want to belittle, but they go out to a dealership that sells trailers and they buy the trailer they have sitting on the lot. It's there, it's convenient. But I don't know if they really do the time. When I bought this trailer, I spent a year of doing research, really thinking what I wanted, and that because a standard enclosed trailer's only got 3,500 pound axles, and that so people automatically think that the trailer is then good for 7,000 pounds, but they got to remember that the axles are good for 7,000 pounds. So you got 3,500 pound axles at 7,000 pounds minus the weight of the trailer. All right. On an enclosed trailer, you're probably talking 1,500 pounds, right? Then you add lawnmowers, chainsaws, blowers. What does your lawnmower weigh? Chances are most people running a 16-foot trailer with 2 zero-turns on it, their gas cans, trimmer racks, they're probably overweight on their axles. Maybe not by much, maybe very little, but they are probably close. And honestly, if you're not extending it, I looked at it as this is a big investment. So, in this regards, you're going to undercapacitate the trailer. It's not going to wear as hard as it would if you were running right on that ragged edge of a 3,500 pound axle. That was my decision behind that. So, I find in the lawn care community, you don't ever see it on the Facebook groups or on YouTube. the maintenance. You always see it when a wheel falls off and it's down the highway, and the wheel fell out. You know, that's listen. They've got grease in there, and they got a bearing. And here, in the province I live in, um, when you start running commercial double axle trailers, anything over a 3/4 ton truck that's commercial, you require a yearly safety inspection. There's yellow stickers that go on the trucks that prove you've done it, and it is the law. You need to have it. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's keeping a standard held that's necessary. But, so, I know people just go to the dealership and they buy a trailer, but they don't, and then later down the road they might be disappointed. Because they don't spend the time, and you think about it, you think, well, it's just a trailer, it's just a trailer. No, this is the machine that is towing around your livelihood. Your zero turn's important. It's there, it's on the property, it cuts the lawn. Your your trimmers are important, like the tools are important, but the whole process of getting to point A to point B is also very important. You need to have a reliable truck, you need to have a good trailer, you need to have good equipment. You can't have good equipment in a crappy old truck. All of this does truly matter. So, I encourage anybody that's going out to do this, spec it out and look into torsion axles. The reason I went into torsion axles is it's another $2,000 up here to go to torsion axles, okay? But here's the thing. On all my other trailers, except for my dump trailer, which is still got a leaf spring set up in it, but it's a slipper slide system. I don't know the technical term of it. I'm not a mechanic. However, my 16-foot trailer and my 14-foot trailer that were landscapes, they both have leaf springs. And in the leaf springs, so you got the U, and then you got two bolts like this. And where they bolt in there, they bolt right up to the frame. They got bushings in there, and they wear out yearly. And I have fixed them myself yearly. Sometimes you get lucky, you get 2 years out of them, but that is it. Okay. You're getting 2 years out of this. You got to rip it all apart. It's a mess, or you got to pay somebody to do it. But I can tell you by offhand, my dad's a mechanic, and we've done it together out of the shop. You got to blow it apart. It's all new bolts, all new bushings. There's the centerpiece between the two, and that basically, just to it's not hard work. Even all the parts aren't all that expensive. I think my cost and all the parts for just doing the leaf springs might have equaled up to $350, but this is a yearly or bi-yearly cost. Not to mention, I think we spend about 2 hours aside, so 4 hours of your time. So take that and whatever you want per hour. And you think, well, or you're paying a mechanic upwards of $100 an hour to do it. So I thought in the long run, if, the average trailer lasts 10, 12 years, maybe you get 15 if you take care of it well, and then you sell it. My oldest trailer is about 15 years old, and it's showing its age, right? Another couple years, I don't use it much, but it's showing its age, and I'll retire it. And I'll probably just send it to scrap. Or I'll sell it to somebody private. But, and it's in good mechanical shape, and that, it's just getting scabby with the rust and that in Canadian winters. But, so you take that $2,000, it's a nicer riding trailer with torsions, they're a better axle, and you're saving that headache, that maintenance cost. So it'll pay for itself over time. So I really thought it out, right? Also, you didn't see it in that video, or I did. I did show you the two ramp pieces. They're just not in there at the moment, because I'm painting it. But yeah, guys, I want you to really consider trailers are an important tool of your business. Trucks are an important tool. I want to do a video about trucks too. I think they're important too. And you need to spec a truck out right, or not even. You just need to know what to look for when you're buying a used truck. I know there's a lot of guys, and I'm not saying that you have to buy an 18-foot trailer or a 3/4 ton truck. If all you're doing is towing around one zero turn, one push mower, all you have to do is get a half ton and a little single axle trailer. If that's all you're gonna do, and that, like, if all I did was commercial lawns that required a 60-inch zero turn, I'd have a half ton truck, a single axle trailer, a couple of weed whips, and a 60-inch zero turn sitting on it. Because if that's all you do, then that's all you need. You don't have to go bigger, longer. But in my area, it's very common to do a mix of both. So I've got the 48-inch Walker and the 60-inch Ferris and the 30-inch Pushmore. I've eliminated anything under 30 inches. And soon it'll be, if I can't get my Ferris 32-inch into a gate, it's game over. That just, and that and bagging. And that, in the very beginning of the year, I'll bag a little bit just to deal with the growth. And at the end of the year, I'll bag the leaves. And if I could get away with not doing that, it'd make me even happier. But we get very wet springs up here. And the growth, I mean, we're talking 9 inches a week. It's hard not to bag it. It really is. But it does really calm down after 3-4 weeks. But that all being said, guys, I want you to really consider your trailer. This is the tool. You know, you can buy just a regular duty landscape trailer, cheap. But I want you to look at it. Like, is it square tubing underneath? Is it angle iron? Is it box rectangular tubing? Like, all of this is going to play into how well your trailer is built. Sometimes, and trailer companies, just because they charge more doesn't mean it's better, and just because they charge less doesn't mean it's worse. I have seen it all across the board. You have to pay attention to the trailers. In my area, there's I'm pretty much down pat, but every area has different style and different brands. Trailers, a lot of areas have local manufacturers, such as my enclosed trailer was a local manufacturer. We also have a Canadian, or this one is funny enough, Canadian Trailer Company, which is out of Goderich of my area. And then there's Canadian or Canada Trailers, which is out of Elmer in my area, all within an area. And they're more notorious for making open. And then there's N&N trailers that are galvanized, also built by the Mennonites out of my area. They're good, but every area is going to have different manufacturers. There's thousands of trailer manufacturers, so do your research, spend the time. I'm not saying that the most expensive trailer is going to be the best trailer, because I think there's schneisters, and I don't think the cheapest trailer will be the worst. Well, I mean, TSC box store cheap, they are cheap. But just look, do your research, ask questions, ask a lot of questions, and just go from there. But I've been rambling on for 20 minutes, guys. Till next time, this Canadian landscaper coming at you. Y'all have a great day.